reference.
Welcome to Comic Minute. We are starting off a relationship basically lying to you. It's going to be more than a minute, but that's okay. Today, we're going to talk about the state of Daredevil and everything that's going on. My name is Christian.
I'm Ryan.
This is Ryan. We are both super fans. Would you call us super fans of Daredevil?
I mean, so he's definitely my favorite character, but I think my pride can't handle me labeling myself a super fan of anything.
He's definitely been hit in the head way too many times to imagine himself as either battling Jack or Matty Murdock. So yeah, I would say super fans.
Yeah.
So anyway, season 3 was, in my opinion, fantastic, and it got canceled right afterwards, just as all the other Netflix shows have been. What do you think about this?
I think an area where Netflix really messed up is they didn't really market it like it was supposed to, because it was a fantastic season. You know, some of the best TV I've ever seen. It was as close to perfect as you can get, you know, with the Daredevil character. But due to them feuding with Disney, since Disney wants to do their own streaming service where a lot of the Marvel stuff is going to be going, they ended up offing it. And unfortunately, that leaves fans like us of the more mature MCU properties kind of wondering where Daredevil and the others like Luke Cage, Iron Fist, and the Punisher are going to end up. What are your thoughts?
I think it's really sad what Netflix did. They basically nerfed it before it even came out. Like the advertising and everything, they didn't do it. Like we didn't get a teaser or anything until like what, the week of, 2 weeks prior or something like that.
Thereabouts, yeah. And I remember asking you in the gym like when it was coming out, because I felt like I should be getting ready. You know,
I felt like I should have been like emotionally like getting myself ready.
Oh, exactly.
And like I should have.
Like I needed to take like work off,
yeah, exactly.
like a fidget, and
but
bullcrap.
That didn't happen. And in fact, they pumped those seasons out like nobody's business. Like it used to be that like we would wait a few months, like what was it, like 4 to 6 months in between these different seasons and stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
And then in the course of a season, like year-wise, the season, not like, you know, like the show and everything. In the course of like a couple of months, we received what? Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Daredevil, and then Punisher. Like it's just, they just cranked them all out so they could just kind of cancel them. But I mean,
that's
I don't
business,
know.
I guess.
I guess it is. It was a good run.
Yeah.
I'm happy it happened. I'm happy with the way that a lot of them left off, especially with Daredevil. I thought it left off very strong, very promising.
Yeah, I agree, and I feel like the way the finale went, you know, it had a bit of a bow on it. So if that was the series finale, it would kind of work.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it tied up all the loose ends that had been set up in season 1. You know, we see Fisk get behind bars. We see Matt, Foggy, and Karen sort of get back together and reunite.
Yeah.
You know, Matt's happy being Daredevil again.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, it was almost kind of too happy of an ending for the Devil of Hell's Kitchen. You know,
I don't know. Well, and but that's the thing. It's like, so I feel like it kind of works for the finale. We do still have Bullseye lingering in the background.
This is true.
And
Fisk is still in prison.
Exactly.
He knows more than ever now. So I mean,
and so
you still have all the other issues in the MCU, like, you know, Luke is apparently basically a new kingpin of crime.
Yeah,
just in a different part.
Yeah, Colleen Wing's the Iron Fist now because reasons.
I don't like that. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't like that either. Yep. And the Punisher was the only one. The Punisher and Daredevil were the only two that kind of left off at a spot where like that's the characters.
Punisher, in my opinion, had the absolute best ending that it possibly could. But I mean, we're not here to talk about Castle right now. We're here to talk about everything with Daredevil. My thought is either that we're just completely done for good, or we're gonna see it go over to Hulu.
Yeah. So Hulu, it was announced today that they've expressed interest in picking up these properties again. Disney does own close to a third of Hulu, so and Hulu does have other Marvel properties on there. So I think that would be a likely spot, since Disney's platform is really more, you know, going to stick to the PG-13 and under.
Yeah, because right now they have the Runaways, and I think that they also have the rights to stream Cloak and Dagger on there as well.
Yep.
Even though I don't think Cloak and Dagger is necessarily part of the whole universe, the MCU.
See, and
I'm not sure.
I've heard conflicting things about that. I mean, like there are little Easter eggs, like like there's like a Roxxon sign, and stuff like that. But I mean, I think it's kind of its own thing. Like I'd be amazed if they showed up anywhere else.
Well, nonetheless, this isn't a video about Cloak and Dagger.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
And I'm not even sure anybody watches it.
I'm sure somebody does.
I mean, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't either.
No, it looks like the beginning of the first episode.
I tried really hard. I could not bring myself to do it.
Yeah, no, it's not for me.
Yeah.
The 60-year-old girl in me wasn't screaming out loud. So, yeah, I mean, considering everything that Hulu is talking about creating, like the Howard the Duck series.
Yeah, and the Offenders,
whatever that might be.
Yeah.
And there's a whole laundry list of other characters they're going to do. I could easily see them running out with doing the whole Defenders and Frank Castle stuff, all of that goodness. My only issue with that is how long would it be until they actually do get the rights to that? Would they be able to get back all the same people? Like, you know, if it's going to be years just in order to get the rights completely away from Netflix and to write up scripts and everything, like, can you actually imagine all of the actors being able to sign on? I mean, like, that's years in between. Like, you know, that's...
So
these people are all going to move on to other projects and stuff.
Well, so I know a lot of them already did. I know Charlie Cox is doing a stage thing with Tom Hiddleston in England.
Okay.
I know Vincent D'Onofrio signed on for something else, and I do know there has to be a minimum of 2 years until the characters can be used again, unless of course Disney or Hulu or whoever decides to buy out the contracts, which I'd imagine they could do.
Yeah, I mean, well,
yeah.
If Disney's backing them, I mean, they can buy anything
No,
they want.
exactly.
I'm surprised they haven't bought me yet.
Yeah, so I feel like it just comes down to how much money are they willing to throw at it in order to get these things back up and running. I mean, I wonder if it would be kind of like almost a soft reboot for each one. Like, so we sort of, you know, rather than them necessarily directly continuing each story. Like I could picture them picking up and then maybe loosely referring to the stuff that happened prior.
I feel like it would be easy enough to do with the bulk of the characters. Maybe not so much Luke, but I mean, if they're going to do that, if they're going to bring back Luke and Danny, like, I would ideally like to see them consolidate the two into a Heroes for Hire TV show.
I agree.
Because their synergy, the way they work together, is absolutely flawless.
Yeah, and I think they're both kind of flat on their own.
Yeah.
And then throw Jessica Jones in there.
I mean, I like, with the right writing and everything, I feel like on their own they are good, but I just feel like there's not enough content for them to be driven as much as like Daredevil and these other characters with such rich histories.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, it's one thing to just make a good TV show and to just, you know, completely like shine on your own. It's another thing to be standing next to essentially like a media juggernaut like that and like be constantly compared to it. It's just, it doesn't quite work. But I mean, the show's over. It sucks. Whatever. We still have Daredevil comics, and that's really about it. But
so what are your thoughts? So Man Without Fear, the miniseries is wrapped up.
Yeah.
What do what were your thoughts on it?
I thought it started off really slow. But the minute that they started bringing in other characters and they started really delving into his rehab and stuff like that, it was a really fun read. It was really, really good. It captured a lot of the emotion that Matt Murdock really has with every breath that he takes. He's definitely one of those characters that's never flat. He's never one-dimensional. Like, there's unlike Batman, there's not just Batman. You know, like there's two different characters essentially you're dealing with when you're dealing with Daredevil. You're dealing with Matt Murdock, who wants to be Matt Murdock, and then you're dealing with Daredevil, who wants to be Daredevil. Like, he wants his cake and eat it too. He wants both. I feel like in that miniseries they definitely captured it the best. Just his internal struggle, his physical struggle, all that. They set up for a lot of really good stuff, and it led into the new series, issue 1 that came out. What was it, last week?
Yep, last Wednesday.
Ran out and grabbed it, read it that night. It was awesome. Absolutely amazing. They set up for a lot of great stuff. And like, I put down the comic going, oh, I feel so bad for Matt, which is how I want to feel about one of my favorite heroes. You know, I want to feel bad for him.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
well, when you brought up a good point too, and for those of you who don't know, so the last volume of Daredevil ended with him getting hit by a truck, and then he was, they make you think he was gonna die, and then the last page, he's resuscitated, revealed to be in a hospital bed.
Yeah.
And so Man Without Fear is just all about him trying to climb back, and I thought it was a very human story. And obviously, when people think about comic books, they think about, alien invasions and all of this far out stuff, but this was just about Matt Murdock trying to sort of figure out who he is in this new reality that he's been sort of thrown in, and what his life's going to be like going forward, which is something I feel like a lot of regular people can relate to, which is part of what made the story special. And I agree with you that the first issue of the newest volume is fantastic.
It was, yeah. It introduced a lot of really good characters.
Mm-hmm.
That I think if they choose to keep them on and really run with them, they'll really enrich the story.
Mm-hmm.
Introduced a new threat into Matt's life that isn't just in the form of a villain. It's it'll be a really good internal conflict for him.
Yep, I agree.
So yeah, I mean, I'm excited for it.
Yeah, me too. I think it'll be good going forward. Yeah.
Yeah. So that being said, if you're a collector, go out and pick up Eternals. Every once in a while we hear about some rumblings about new characters enter into a movie or TV show or something like that. The head of Marvel, Kevin Feige, he stated that he's definitely going to bring the Eternals into the mix. So go out, get this comic while you still can. Can almost guarantee you that if you buy this in good condition, you get it slabbed through CGC or CBS or whatever you fancy, it's going to go up in price. You'll be very happy about it. Definitely good for any collector.
Yeah, so if you're somebody who likes to flip comics or just wants to collect them, that's probably a good one. I like how you just accented it by throwing it to the wayside, but it's whatever.
Just how it is. All right.